A new striker target for Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Manchester United. Are we going to spend any money? It's silly season. It's around the corner. The January transfer window is opening. We're going to go through the stories of what is realistic and what is not. Who's returning? What's Ten Hag's best team going forward with the injuries and everyone coming back? I want to get your involvement in that, guys, as well. So get commenting right now on all the topics that we are discussing tonight and get involved in the polls as we go up. It is officially halfway through the season, everybody. So where are you at? Are you seeing signs of improvement? Are you seeing hope going forward for Ten Hag, or have you just completely accepted that this is not good enough for Manchester United? This is Forever United TV, FUTV. Hello everyone, good evening. How are you doing? Hope you've had a good day. Hope you're enjoying the break in between Christmas and New Year. That's if you are working. Are you at the gym like our man Mr J Daly in the chat right now? Loving the fact that he's there in the chat. He was going to come on today, but he thought, you know what, I'm just going to go and get a bit of a pump on instead. And yeah, he'll be back hopefully tomorrow, and then obviously at weekend for the game against Nottingham Forest. So yes, good to have you in the chat anyway, Jay. Hope everyone has had a fantastic time so far. Let me know some of the stories as well, guys, while you're in the chat today. You know what we like to do on these evening videos? You like to get into a bit of a conversation with all the subscribers and all the comment sections. So let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're doing. Has there been anything interesting going on? Were you at the game last night? Have you got any memorable moments or videos? Just let me know. Start talking to me. That's what it's all about. We have our little connection on these evening shows, unless there's something drastically been thrown upon us, like United usually like to do. But there are stories going around about certain players and transfers. Obviously, it is here. The transfer window has finally arrived. So Jim Ratcliffe is in charge. We know that nothing can go through from the Glazers side. We talked about that this morning. So if there was any plans, it would have to be vetoed with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. If there was anything in the pipeline beforehand, then it can still go ahead. But anything new? No, it's also Jim time right now. He is starting the rebuild, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Going forward under Ten Hag, because I think we can all safely say last night definitely gave Ten Hag a lot of breathing room, and I feel barring a catastrophe straight away off the back of that against Nottingham Forest, which is kind of like United, and why we're still cautiously optimistic after last night's second half performance. We'll look ahead and see if there is room in this team, if there is room for improvement and hope for improvement under Ten Hag with a lot of these current squad, because it is a young squad. So yeah, let's get into it. First off, guys, get into the poll. The poll's up in the chat right now. We're just talking generally about the season so far. Let me know what you're thinking. I'll come back to that around about the 10-minute mark just to see where you guys are at, and we'll keep throwing a few polls up tonight just to keep you guys engaged in general conversation on certain things United and maybe some things not United. Like I said, just talk to me anyway, guys. Let me know how you're doing. Hopefully everyone is well. Good to see some familiar faces in the chat as well. But yeah, let's get into it anyway. Silly season. Why is it officially next week now? Yes, it is. God. Is it Tuesday? I think it is Tuesday, isn't it? Or is it Monday it officially opens the transfer window? Wow, a January transfer window. And that usually for United fans means scraping the barrel. Actually not having any hope of anything significant happening. It's the same for most clubs, unless you're Chelsea, because they will pay stupid amounts of money. But you got to look at it and go, I still think Manchester United gonna need someone. How we get them, I do not know, and all depends on them restrictions hampering the quality of the player that we can bring in. The name has sprung up in chat today with a big release clause, which is why I feel this might not happen. Maybe it is one for the summer, I don't know. But a Sporting Lisbon striker, the Swedish centre forward, Victor Gyökeres, I think that is how you pronounce it. I've double checked. Kaz knows a lot of Swedish people, and that is a bit of a silent G going on at the front there. So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure DJ John, if he's in the house, will correct me on the Swedish pronunciation of Gyökeres. I think that's right, Gyökeres. Let me know if I get that wrong. But yes, big centre forward, scoring plenty of goals at the moment. Sporting Lisbon, where Bruno came from, obviously, and we all love Bruno Fernandes, don't we? I know there's a few people in the chat that don't, but last night he was back to his somewhat near his best, I would say, in the second half, and hopefully that is a turning corner for him as Manchester United captain, as much as it was for Rasmus Højlund first goal and Ten Hag saving himself from the sack, because there was so much from that game last night which had so much implications going forward for so many people. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we're looking on the positive side today, thankfully, and it is a bit more of an upbeat vibe. So yeah, let's get into it. I mean, striker, I think we do need an extra man in there. 25, international, not played much for Sweden, to be fair. I don't know too much about him. I do not follow the Portuguese league. He's obviously got a great scoring record there. 17 goals, 8 assists in 23 appearances so far this season. But you know what? It is another area of the pitch where I think Manchester United probably could do with tweaking. Just, I'm not dropping Højlund. That's the problem I've got right now. I love the guy. I love his energy. I love his passion, and that came out of him in buckets last night when that goal went, and you could see the raw emotion on the man's face. It was just a picture. It was brilliant, and I want to see more of it from this United team. That's what we need to see. You've seen it in Bruno Fernandes. Even, you know what, there's a picture I seen last night. Emotion from Marcus Rashford. Wow, yes. And would you want to disrupt that in the middle of a season when we're just about turning a corner? I think this, Gyökeres, and for anyone not knowing who he is, I don't blame you. I didn't until today. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to act like some people saying that he is this type of striker. He plays this way. Just because you flicked onto a clips video on YouTube, other people will do that. I didn't know about him. And if I don't know about him, then I would usually go down the road of thinking, well, he's probably clearly not good enough for Manchester United. But that would be me with my arrogant Manchester United glasses on. We cannot be like that anymore, can we? We cannot think that way as United fans now. The rules are changing within Old Trafford now. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is coming in. This rebuild that we're talking about isn't your normal Premier League rebuild for me. It's not like the Saudis coming into Newcastle and then buying players for 50 million upwards. It's not a Chelsea bottomless pit of cash. Go and buy whoever you want at whatever time of a transfer window, whether it be January or the summer. How they're getting away with it still, I do not know. But I think all Chelsea fans right now will probably look at this and go, well, you look at Conor Gallagher there. He's our best performing midfielder who cost them absolutely nothing compared to £250 million worth of Enzo and Caicedo. It's not always the way forward. I mean, we ourselves know this as Manchester United fans. Don't go out buying the Galacticos. It's not always what it's cracked up to be. That's the important thing to remember in all of this. And I feel like Manchester United's tax now will be, under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, a different approach. The younger players. You only have to look at that front line right now. Look at the age of Manchester United's team going forward. Now, this is where I want to spin this today on this show and give my opinion across as like Garnacho 19. You've got Mainu 18. You've got Højlund 20. You've got young quality players there coming through, and they are a shining light. Kambuala, who came through over the last couple of games, just out of nowhere. Out of absolutely nowhere, he's come onto the scene and he's had a couple of decent performances. Yeah, he didn't have much to do last night, but what he did do was impressive, especially that double crunching tackle that he made. But you've got young players now. Ten Hag is looking at and just going, you know what? Sod it. I don't care, I'll back the young players. And there seems to be a little bit of change in how he's looking at this now, Ten Hag, for me. I think he is going to start relying on youth anymore. And guys, let me know in the chat, do you feel like the fact that we've got younger players coming through now gives you a little bit of something? I asked this question earlier on this morning, so for the people that weren't here in the early morning show, I'll ask it again, try and get your involvement in this. Do you feel a little bit of your the United DNA coming through? Do you feel connected because you've got younger players coming on the pitch? I mean, the substitutes last night for United, 4 of them substitutes coming on that pitch were academy players. Scott McTominay, everybody knows about. Kambuala, we all started talking about him when he came through against, came on the pitch for in the West Ham game, so everyone knows him now. Then you've got Hannibal, we all know him. Dan Gore is making a few appearances as well now. 4 academy graduates coming off the bench, and we've still got players to come back. And then players came on the pitch last night into a team which was absolutely firing and determined to make something happen in that second half. That's when young players need to come through into this team. How does Ten Hag keep that momentum and that energy going? That is what's important in all of this. How can he manage this? It's by not playing the big name players. And the players that he is playing them in their best positions. Stop messing around with the system. The system works when you've got the cogs in the right places. The round pegs in the round holes. That's how everything runs smoothly. Play them players, the good ones, are the ones that really stand out where they work best. People have been saying and complaining about Bruno Fernandes. He's just, for me, he will always be an 8. But I think he is starting to be more effective just in that 10 role now. I think his energy levels and what he brings is best in an 8 for me. I would be now looking at Bruno as someone who plays in between the 6 and the 10. That's where I would play Bruno. I think he's that energetic. I think that's his best position. And I feel like there he would be a little bit more disciplined in a way where I would say you know where he's going to be. He's going to be box to box, which we know we need. Bruno is the right man for that. I want to know who you guys would play at 10. Would you play? I mean, you looked at last night. For me, yes, Bruno played high. He was all over the park. I think he's got some form of free role for Manchester United. But Eriksen came back last night and added that quality to our team. We're hearing news as well. Mason Mount is back on grass, guys, as well. So if you don't know the news and the updates injury-wise, no Maguire or Lindelof just yet, but Mason Mount is on grass and training. So New Year, Mason Mount is also going to be back and in the fold. Now Mason Mount coming back into a team which is performing is a different kettle of fish altogether. Anyone coming into a team which is performing a lot better is going to think and move and react to things differently, and I feel would have a bit more of a boost about their game. He's unfortunate so far this season. I don't see how he gets in the team. I mean, straight away, Eriksen or Mount? Let me know, guys. Get in the chat. I'm going to go to the chat because there's loads of you guys putting in loads of comments. So let's get into this now. UK straight. So let's go. No, Alistair first. Alistair, how are you doing? Good to see you in the chat, my man. But Chelsea are stuck with all those players on massive long contracts. That's what we don't want to be, mate. That's what I'm saying. We don't want to be Chelsea. It doesn't work. The Galactico eras and the Galactico style buying works for the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona simply because the league is so poor. That's where we're at with that. The Premier League, I don't actually think it works. I really don't. Chelsea can say, look at the model, it's worked before, look how many trophies we've won. But their time will come. The way that financial fair play is changing, that Chelsea model is going to be a thing of the past. It really is. You're not going to be able to rely on that. You can't rely on Chelsea and that style of transfer strategy at working anymore. You've seen it to its full right now. Look at Cucurella. Caicedo when ends up not working, not doing the job. Jackson, not at it. Mudryk, it's just not working. That is dead. That is dead for me. I don't think that is a Premier League model that's going to be sustainable. Manchester United, I feel, down the younger player system, the younger youth academy players coming through, I think that's our way forward. We just need to add that little bit of well recruited, acute, minor detailed looks into right player, right type of player. That's where United need to be bringing in. That's where, and in whatever position is right now. The forward position is a tough one. It really is, because you're always going to be spending big money. Do we need a striker in the summer? We've talked about Mason Greenwood coming back. This is where it is. This is where the problem is. Anthony Wisdom says, Adam, you know how this United team have done all season? One performance and onto a one performance off. Can't get too carried away, mate. Show us a run of games that we can invest in. Totally agree, Anthony. I was saying the same thing this morning. I said the same thing last night. Consistency is everything with this team. Not a one-off game. We did it with Chelsea. We went and got beat by Bournemouth. We did it against Liverpool. We went and got beat by West Ham. We've done it again against Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest away. Tough game this weekend. This is a big game. It's the one after. It's always the one after we United. Can we sustain this sort of... Can we sustain this consistency? As in the intensity that we played in last night. Everyone was talking about the press last night. There's loads of videos going around. The youthfulness of our front line helped us press last night. Even Marcus Rashford was doing a bit. And that says everything. If you can turn him around in a way that he has been moping around the pitch this season, then there is hope for Ten Hag. The players have no excuses now. They have shown yesterday they can fight back. So we expect to see it more. And that's a question again, UK Strains, that everyone is going to want to know about. Are you going to be switched on? Or are you actually deciding as players which games you want to turn up for this season? I said I'd check the poll just to see. 15 minutes into the show, halfway through the season, rate it so far. Not bad considering, 24%. No excuses, it's poor, 40%. Signs of promise, 15%. Completely unacceptable, 20%. There is a good mix there of good, bad and ugly, really, with the United fan base. Some are just not having any of it. Some are saying, we have seen things, he's got a lot to deal with, Ten Hag. Can we really judge on such a mess with what happened with Greenwood, with what's happening with the ownership and everything else above? I understand all of that. I also understand that it's Manchester United and the core of these players were the same players that finished third last season under the same manager. No excuse. I get it. I do. Make sure you give the video a like, guys. Let's get to that 100 mark before the 20-minute mark. That's our target today. Thank you very much, everybody, for all your contributions as always. Well over 300 in the room with us right now, so let's like the video, please, everyone. A team man with a super chat. Cheers for this, buddy. Eriksen coming back adds a lot of stability. Him and Mainu need to start the games from now on. I feel like that's the way it's going. I mean, Eriksen, can he play every game? That's the question. Now you're looking no Carabao Cup, no Europa League, no Champions League. We've just got the FA Cup. Maximum every other week you're going to have 2 games. Other than that, you're going to have a full week's preparation. This might be perfect for Christian Eriksen. It might be. I mean, he's one of the eldest in the team and he's not that old. Could this actually work well for the likes of Eriksen, Casemiro? Can we get a big boost out of these players that we probably feel are going to be leaving at the end of this season, right now, in this season? Can they propel us back into that top 4, top 5? That's the question now. It's all hands to the pump. Anyone who can give that a little bit more right now for Ten Hag and this team going forward, we need it. We need it bad. But I'd say Eriksen, after last night's performance, would he risk him so soon after the game and another game against Nottingham Forest? I just said then, with gaps in between and full week's preparation, Eriksen comes right into the fold for me. He really does. Last night, his touch, composure and calmness on the ball was all too clear to see compared to what you get with McTominay. No disrespect again, Eriksen's a better player. I don't care. I'm just going to say it as it is. But yeah, someone actually said to me at half time, yeah, Adam, but it's all McTominay's fault, isn't it? Say no more. Say no more. We scored 3 goals without him. But yeah, he did what he did. I don't even know if he got a touch when he came on the pitch last night. But Scott McTominay is a bench player for Manchester United. He's a good squad player, and we'll leave it at that. Christian Eriksen, on the other hand, is a top quality player, and that was clear last night. And I think it brought more out of Bruno. And like we said before, Kobbie Mainoo. This is the future of this team. This is the part of the rebuild. You need these players like Kobbie Mainoo coming through now, working alongside the likes of Casemiro, Eriksen, sometimes even Mount, Bruno Fernandes. These are the players you need them working in conjunction with, because a mismatched team with a McTominay and players completely out of position, it's not the right atmosphere, it's not the right environment for these young players to be coming through. I am really positive with this next batch of young players, because this next batch of young players coming through, we're already seeing it. They're all part of the FA Youth Cup winning team, the first FA Youth Cup win in 11 years, which was a couple of seasons ago. Camberwalla, Mainoo, Garnacho, they're all members of this team, and they're all just coming through. Now, let's not forget, the FA Youth Cup is a round the 16, 17-year-old sort of just under 18s age group of players. A couple of years on, we're now seeing the fruits of the labour of that youth team. They're all just starting to creep in now, aged a little bit more. I mean, you look at the size of Kwambawala, and he looks like he's filled out a full-grown man already, even at the young age that he is. There's a magic moment that I didn't even see last night on the full-time whistle when he just sprinted across to Andre Onana in goal. That is what every single Manchester United fan needs to see. Senior players right there behind the younger players, supporting them, not complaining and moaning and bitching about them, which some reports have said. True or not, sometimes you start to believe it because of what you're seeing on the pitch. Marcus Rashford had a bit of a bitch and a moan when things didn't go right last night, but there was a difference in him last night where he just brushed it off and carried on playing. The big moment for Marcus Rashford last night for me, and I feel like things like this set the tone. Things like what happened with Martinez when he went right through him. Perfectly good tackle, by the way. No issue at all with that. Could see it from where I was sat. Didn't have a problem with it at all. There was a lot of United fans outraged by it. He just did him. Simple as. Good old-fashioned football. Take the opportunity to take the ball and the man, and Martinez emptied Rashford onto his arse. He got up, shook himself down, carried on playing. That to a young player on that pitch, to a Kobe Mainoo, a Garnacho, this is a Manchester United player who's come through the academy. He is under the microscope. He could have simply gone into hiding after that and just thought the whole world was again. No, he brushed it off and he carried on. They're the moments in games. That's what fans cling on to more than anything. And that's where the connection came last night. It felt like the fans were giving it and the players were actually accepting it and bringing more back. Now for me, that's where Manchester United go forward. So our best team at the moment for me is Evans and Varane at the back. It is Wan-Bissaka on the right. And you know what? Right now, Luke Shaw has got to do a little bit for me. He just gets in there because of his experience and his know-how, and he is our left back. He is the best left back, and he was excellent last season for me as well, close to being Player of the Year. But I think that is our strongest back four right now. I think Anana's comfortable with it because he can pass out a lot more comfortably. You just watch the games when it's Evans and Varane in front of Anana and how more comfortable he is. That's why Manchester United cannot even go into the other news I wanted to talk about transfer-wise. Raphael Varane. We cannot entertain Raphael Varane going to Bayern Munich because they're willing to offer, I think, 20 to 25 mil. That's something that this club cannot let happen. Not this season, not now. They are going to test our resolve. Apparently, reports are saying that there is no actual price tag set from Manchester United for Raphael Varane. No. There should be a price tag set, and it should be a ridiculous one because Manchester United will not sell him unless it's a absolute stupid bid. And I'm talking like what we paid for him. For Raphael Varane to go this January, it needs to be between 40 and 50 million. And no one's going to pay that, are they? Let's be fair. Job done. Rafa's still in the team. And with him, we've had some of our best performances at the back. A couple of lapses from set pieces last night, but other than that, when Rafa Varane's playing, we're alright. Please just stay fit, Rafa, because it's really winding me up now. We seem to get a backline that's looking good together, and then one of them players drops out, like Luke Shaw did. If it's not Varane, it's Luke Shaw. If it's not Luke Shaw, it's bleeding Johnny Evans. Darlow suspended. Wan-Bissaka's ill. It's just, man, we just need consistency in this team. And I said it all along, the midfield is the most important part of Manchester United. It's that link from the two defenders who can pass out in Evans and Varane to them forwards and creating chances for them. Last night's blend was perfect because Bruno Fernandes was getting stuck in last night and Mainoo was facing the tackle. He just feeds off the energy of everyone else. He was brilliant in the air as well. So the rebuild for Sir Jim Ratcliffe is based, I think, core-wise, that youth team. Tap into that youth team, and the one good thing that's come out of this football club over the last 5 years, that FA Youth Cup winning team, and the way that Manchester United have changed their academy, Nick Cox and everyone else in that Manchester United academy, and the setup there and what they're doing and the improvements they're making, they are changing things up. It is a miles better setup now for this Manchester United academy. It's only going to get better under Sir David Brailsford and what he's going to bring in them little minor adjustments that he's going to make. That's where Manchester United's core needs to come from. You look at the players at Manchester United right now and the go-tos. I don't agree with McTominay, but he's there. He's a go-to. You've got Johnny Evans, who was a through and through Manchester United. Early doors, burst onto the scene like the other youth players. You've got a Marcus Rashford there. This is what's important right now. You have got a core of quality Manchester United young players in that team, academy players right now. Honest Tiger with the donation of the membership. Thank you very much, mates. Make sure if you do take that you do thank our man Honest Tiger. Someone needs to grab hold of that very quickly. UK Strange has taken it. Good on you, my man. Good on you. Alien Tenor says Mason Greenwood, Mainu, Gore, Camberwala, Garnacho, Hoyland, Bennett, Alvarez, Palestre, Ahmad, etc. Unleash these lads. Well, you could add another academy graduate, and you may even have a spine of academy players in Manchester United next season. If we develop and nurture Camberwala through this team, which I think we can do, and I think will be the end of the likes of Lindelof and Harry Maguire, obviously we need to make sure that we are in a position to bring these players through and not just throw them to the wolves. You can't just blood these players straight into a Manchester City or a Liverpool game. You can't. Not players at the back anyway. So for me, I look at it and I go, make sure that we are stable. And I don't think we need to necessarily be looking out for a top-notch centre-back. I don't. If someone like Todibo is available and is at the right money, say a 35-40 million, I'm all in for that. I understand that signing. It's not too much. It's not stupid wages. But look at the wage structure for one, with these youth players coming through. And I'm not saying that these players have just come in and they're going to make it. It may not go right for Mainu. It may not go right for Camberwala. We don't know. But what we do know is they have been successful at every level coming through and successful together. And now you've got a spine there. You could even add Mason Greenwood to that. The debate carries on, but it's a fact. Another academy player. We got one up front. You got one in the middle in Mainu. You could have one at the back in Camberwala. You've got a spine of Manchester United blood that has come through our academy. That's how this rebuild is going to go. That's how this rebuild is going to go. Alex Paytex says, great show, bro. Loving the content. Thank you very much, guys. You know I like to bring it different on this channel, guys, and I love all your comments and all your input into everything we do. So yeah, it is going to be full on 2 shows a day, everybody. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it. So sorry. I got my days mixed up with the membership giveaway. It's happening this weekend, guys. Oh, get excited. It is. So if you are a member of this channel, jump across onto the community section on the page, on the YouTube page, and there is a post on there of how to enter the latest competition, which is a 1988 Manchester United retro third shirt, the blue one. That is going to be given away to one of the members. The draw will be made after the Nottingham Forest game on the reaction show, where hopefully me and Jay will be talking Manchester United beating Nottingham Forest, and we're actually looking like we are making a move and getting a bit of momentum going. Please don't ruin it for me. Please, come on, United. Please. But yeah, that is happening this weekend now, guys. I don't know why I said Wolves. Wolves is bleeding miles away. So yeah, we're not making you wait that long. So everyone who's entered, if you do want to become a member of the channel, press the join button. It's just at the bottom of the screen there below me, next to the subscribe button. All the options are open. Or jump on the description for this video. There is a link there right at the top where you can join and be a member also. So brilliant stuff. DJ John C, we have consistency, Adam. The players are consistently ill. That is a worry and a concern. I did bring that up, DJ John. You are right. It's annoying. Why did Delo play yesterday then? Delo played yesterday because Luke Shaw was unavailable, Rajat, and Wan-Bissaka was on the right and he was covering for Luke Shaw. If Luke Shaw was fit, you know he would have played. Gareth Osborne, Adam, what if Varane wants out? Bayern still Champions League. He doesn't have a good relationship with Ten Hag. Stop saying Seven. We don't know what that relationship's like. It could be just all made up bull from the media. I personally think there is and has been an issue, but I feel like luckily Ten Hag has had to play him and he's now come back into the team. I think Varane is happy at Manchester United. If he wants to go, then see you later. Any player that makes it clear that they want out of the football club, which Varane hasn't done by all accounts, he said that he wants to be at Manchester United and see out his contract, then if he has come out and that's changed for any reason whatsoever, he's not happy at Manchester United, then see you later. I don't think any Manchester United fan right now would bat an eyelid if any of these players would want out of the club or want to leave. Then I don't think I have a problem with any of them going. I really don't. So yeah, I would have a problem with that. Maybe that would make a bit of space for the likes of Kwamboala to make more appearances. Maybe Manchester United don't have to go out and spend another 40-50 million. We've got younger players coming through. Let's see. Garnacho was deserved man of the match. 2 good goals. Garnacho, Mainu, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford. When we did the rating show, people were talking before that and just saying who they thought man of the match. It was mixed between a few players, to be honest. A lot were giving credit to Varane and Evans. A lot were giving credit to Eriksen. Rashford's best performance of the season. Bruno's second half performance grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. Garnacho, he was up there for me as well. He was. Varane looked happy last night for sure, says Antoinette. Yes, he did. Bam Bam, Varane, goodbye. You're not the future. Alien, if he said he don't want to go, I'm happy for him to stay. If he wants out, he can go. Simple as that. Bayern Munich are hovering. There was a story this morning in the papers. Like I said, it is silly season, everyone. Joshua Kimmich, never going to happen. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Don't even get excited about that. But yeah, I remember when me, Jay, and Tim were on here, and we were talking about players of the season so far, going into the last international break, and Johnny Evans' name came up. I think Jay himself put an appreciation post out last night on Twitter saying, Johnny Evans, thank you. Wow. Like, his performances this season have been absolutely outstanding. Like, rolling back the years, Johnny Evans style, it's been a pleasure watching him again. It really has. 135 likes on the video, guys. Thank you very much. Can we get 15 more in the next 3 minutes? Before 35, let's get to 150. That would be excellent. Okay, poll time. Let's see. We're going to round up this poll right now. We're halfway through the season, guys. 19 games in. I wanted to get your thoughts on what you rated the season at. So halfway through the season, rate it so far. We had 4 options for you. Number 1 was not bad, considering there's 23% of people on that vote. No excuse, it's poor, 43%. Signs of promise, 14%, and completely unacceptable, 21%. So, no excuse, it's poor, wins it with the chat tonight. I think that's fair. There isn't enough excuses to play as bad as we have. We've had enough players on the pitch to make an impact, and like I said at the top of the show, this is the same team, the same core of players that finished 3rd last season and got a trophy. So, with the same manager. So, let's put a little bit of perspective in it and just say, look, they've down tools at stages. They haven't been happy with certain things. So, yes, I feel like it is a no excuse scenario. Don't use what's happening off the pitch. You're still good enough to compete and be a lot better than where you are right now. 6. I mean, wow. That's saying something right now. There is Jay in the chat right now. Can I get a hell yeah for Johnny? Hell yeah, Johnny Evans. Get in there. Love United right now. Cheers for that, Johnny. Hopefully you do your business over the coming days as well. Big games for Liverpool coming up. Or is it Newcastle and Arsenal in the FA Cup. Ooh, tasty, tasty. Johnny Evans doesn't get the appreciation he deserves, says Kaz. No, he doesn't. Kimmich would be such a classic Man United signing of late. It's where we don't want to be. Anyone over the age of 25 right now, we've already got enough experience in this team. Anyone over the age of 25 can go for a walk. We don't want it. It's not the way. I don't feel that Sir David Brailsford is going to run this Manchester United ship. It really isn't. Downtown Vegas, also 7 players making over 240k a week. No excuses. Very, very true. That, I feel, is about to change with what we were just talking about. The transfer window coming up. The youth players coming through. I mean, you compare what some of our youth players coming into this team right now, and I include Scott McTominay on this. If you include them in that wage structure right now and look at the difference between some of the higher earners compared to what they're getting, it's eye-watering. It really is. It's horrific. And this is where Manchester United have gone wrong. There is a perfect opportunity right now to set so many wrongs right with this team. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir David Brailsford, even if we got beat last night, we as a club are in a position where, you know what, it's just not worked. No one would bat an eyelid if Manchester United didn't start going out spending loads and loads of money. The only issue with United fans have got about us not spending money is the fact that they're worried that it's just going into the Glazers' pocket. So any success and money that we actually make, where's it going if it's not being spent? Spend it in the right areas. But what I think there needs to be transparency in everything that Sir Jim Ratcliffe does. And on that list of to-do things for the new ownership, the new Ineos controlling stake, i.e. the sporting side of things, is the fan relation side of things. If we're knowing and we're seeing where money's being spent, no one has got an issue with anything. If Manchester United turn profits or the revenues are put straight back into the club, there's no United fan who's actually going to have an issue with it. The only issue we've got is everything that's happened over the last 20 odd years under the Glazers, and now they've just used it as the biggest cash machine in the world ever. It is the biggest cash cow out there, and they've rinsed us. They've absolutely rinsed us. So yeah, we have a perfect opportunity right now with this crop of young players coming through, with the new recruitment team set up, sporting director and everything like that, CEO, all football related stuff. Then we have the perfect chance here to just set the book straight and move from there. And then, like we said the other day, when all of this was announced, the biggest winners out of it are the Glazers. They've done us big time, but as United fans, we have to just hope that what we see on the pitch gets better. That's what it's all about. And the only hope we've got for that is Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his Ineos team coming into Manchester United. That is the single only hope that this fan base has got right now, that he can turn things around on the pitch. Brailsford can stick it up his nose. Kaz says, I've never had an issue with Johnny Evans coming back, and he's changing a lot of opinions too. He's class. True. Rajat says 100% true. Madhouse, I don't know what that one was about. I love Varane, our best centre back by far, but I don't think Varane was on these wages at Real as he's on here. Possibly similar, I would say. UK Strains, my issue is our goalkeeper. He's making too many errors for us to be our first choice keeper. Well, we've got Bayern Day coming in soon when AFCON starts, so we're going to see a change in the net as well. Paul Lucas, let's hope Murto is gone and replaced. I think that is definitely happening, mate, from what we're hearing. I think Everton could get a draw tonight. Yes, the link is in the chat, by the way, guys. So please do come across from here straight over to Top of the League, where I will be doing the watch-along with my man Ben for Manchester City and their visit to Goodison Park to play Everton tonight. Come on the Toffees, as we say. Hopefully we can just welcome City back from that, let's call it a holiday home tournament over there in Saudi Arabia. Welcome them back to the real football with a bang. and I will be a happy man if we get a decent result for Everton tonight. So come and join us there for the watch along as well. That is going to be kicked off at 7:30, guys. So yeah, do make sure you come and support Top of the League as well, because it is me on there. So yeah, come and say hello. And let's laugh at City losing to Everton. The more we think about it, the more chance there is it's going to happen. So yeah, let's just go for it, guys. Anthony Wisdom, is it even possible to make things worse for our new investors? That would show a whole new level of incompetence. These guys are here to try and make Manchester United actually happen again. That's what it is. Mark LFC feels weird saying it. Up the toffees. Yes. Guys, come on, we're actually close to 200 likes on the video. So if everyone in the chat right now gave the video a like, we would hit that 200 mark. That would be epic for tonight. And now he feels epic. The Big Bad Wolf. The Big Bad Wolf. Remember that advert? Love that advert. If you know, you know. I just go off on a tandem sometimes. Just ignore me if you think I'm a bit of a raving lunatic. But yeah, quality adverts. Adam, did you get rid of the Wasp? No, mate. I think we need a name for it. He has just resurfaced somewhere, and I cannot remember. I can't see him right now. I'm just worried, like, where the hell did he bleeding come from in this weather? But yes, the Wasp is still happening. Brailsford's only success has come from the cycling team. He hasn't performed the same in other sports. Shouldn't put all hopes into someone who is effectively a time and motion professional. What you got to look at in that is DWD Viper. It depends on his role and what he does. If he's just overseeing, and one thing you can look at with Sir David Brailsford is he's not afraid to hire people who are better than him in other areas of whatever sport or business side of things he's dealing in. So I think it all comes down with Sir David Brailsford to, he will look into the sports science side of things, and that's great. Let him knock himself out. Go for it. Do whatever you got to do. Spend the money wisely and improve our areas there. Maybe get a chef that can cook chicken. It will be a good start. It will be a good start. But what he is going to do, he's going to employ people in certain positions, I think, and that's his key role. It's like masters of one trade instead of jack of all. Not your Myrtles and Arnold going from post to post, going from commercial director to CEO, from scout to director of football, sporting director, whatever that is. He's buying masters of one trade, not jack of all. And that is where the money needs to be spent. Infrastructure doesn't necessarily mean bricks and mortar and grass and turf and everything. You can actually use that money to employ better people to make things happen and give that infrastructure an absolute kickstart that it really, really needs. That is where success is brought from. The right people in the right positions that are going to work with players on that training ground and make players better. You only have to look at Adoni Iraola at Bournemouth. Now he's got players back and he's improving players. He is 100% improving players. No budget, no massive budget. Yeah, they've spent a little bit with the new owners coming in and Creed and all of that stuff, but he is making them players that were there a lot better than what they were. You only have to look at Dominic Solanke under Iraola this season. Prime example. Players that everyone forgot about. And now look at them. Pulling up trees. What is it? I think it's seven wins in the last 8 games for Bournemouth. That's league winning form right now for them. At a busy period as well. So yeah, it's about getting the right people in place, knowing that they're right for that role, and letting them work away and develop. Develop. Your core of success comes from within at Manchester United. It always has been, and it always will be. I don't necessarily read into the fact that Sir Jim wants the British core. I think his core comes from the infrastructure, and then he adds little bits to it. It definitely isn't just going to go out and buy only English players. That's definitely not going to be how it works. You can't afford to, because English players cost more than anyone, as we know. So don't read too much into that. I believe that core rumour and everything about that is all within the Manchester United infrastructure. That's what it is. 13 likes away from the 200 mark, guys. Let's get there before the end of the show, please. Come on, everyone. Give it another nudge. Give it another like. And let's see. Let's see if we can do it. We're not far away from finishing up, but we do need to just get that like button hit just so we can finish off. But guys, any questions to finish up? Anything you want to talk about? Hit me up in the chat right now. Now is your opportunity before we wrap up the show. DWD Viper says, you don't want too many people being hired, making the hierarchy too complex at the same time. It's not, mate. It's not about hiring too many people. It's about replacing the ones that have been there failing. That's what it's about. I understand the recruitment side, so a director of football and a recruitment specialist, I'm all for that. Two roles there that I think every club that's got a good structure above them have got. I mean, Liverpool have got that and City have got that. 200 likes in the bag, everybody. Thank you very much. Brilliant stuff. I think that's what's important. I've seen Jay came in with a comment there. Let me just try and bring Jay back up again. David Brailsford was the mastermind behind the application of cutting-edge sports science with the British cycling team. It's from listening and reading for what I know, and I do like to get a bit on it. I'm not a cycling expert, but wasn't Sir David Brailsford the first team manager to make Tour de France cyclists warm down? Like, finish a stage of the Tour de France, you don't just get off your bike, you actually get back on the bike and start warming down. Beneficial, things like that. The first man to change the clothing line, the stitching work and things like that on cyclists. He looks at minor little details. If he sticks to that side of things in Manchester United, where he's a master at, and then hires people in other areas that they're the best at, then that's the recipe you need at Manchester United going forward. That's the rebuild. That is everything you need there. It doesn't need loads of money spent on players. It needs money spent in the right areas, on players, infrastructure, youth team, everything. Best in class in staff sometimes is better than best in class, or so-called best in class, on the pitch. The prime example of it being clear that it doesn't matter how big or how good the player is England's international football team. Sometimes you have to play the best team, not the best players. Individual players don't make the team. You have to find the right blend, and that I think is what Ten Hag has been trying to do. Hopefully he's stumbled upon it over these last few weeks. Unlucky against West Ham in a way, how we've not had the best team available again. I'm still not going to go back to letting him off the hook and playing Scott McTominay. I'm really not. So for me, he still doesn't get away with it on that side. But Luke Shaw being out, then Varane being out, and vice versa, and the disruption, he has said he will have a better balance once everyone's fit. And I think we will be able to really judge Ten Hag then. General Foodie in with the gifted membership. Michael Manning has taken that one. Make sure you give him a thank you, Michael. And a super chat in from our man Brian from over the pond in Boston, Liverpool fan. Nice win yesterday, Adam. Although it would have been funnier to see you after a loss. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you over on top of the league as well, Brian, as we all celebrate Manchester City losing to Everton tonight. Come on, the Toffees. Let's have them tonight. Let's welcome them. Let's welcome them cheats back to the country with a bang, where it's real football. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Brian, as always. Contributions have always been brilliant. Really appreciate it, mate. And I think that's the best way to finish up the show, guys. Absolutely brilliant. So over 200 likes. Great comments coming in tonight. Thank you for all your involvement in the polls and everything as well. If you are tuning in for the first time, please do hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified when all of the latest videos and content is coming out. Yeah, we've got a few mix-up shows. A couple of guests coming on before the end of the week as well, guys, on shows for you this week. And then we're into the weekend again. And seeing out the year, hopefully, with a win against Forest. Yeah, I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Madness. But, guys, yeah, that is it. Cheers for tuning in, everyone. Make sure you do give the video a like on your way out, as well as subscribing. And I will see you